This is Martin and Rob, and we are in the starting pen for the 13 Valleys Ultra, starting in Keswick on Friday evening, 6 o'clock. We are your Tea and Trails winners, the two spaces that went for the 13 Valleys Ultra. We're super nervous, but super excited to get going. Months and months of training. We've seen Gary, he's promised us a Freddo en route somewhere. So wish us luck, fingers crossed, and we'll make it to the end.
Hello and welcome to the number one trail running podcast, Tea and Trails, and thanks for stopping by.
If we say it, we believe it.
Well, I check every week just so we can't be fact checked. Hi again, Gary. Thought you might like a note from the starting pen of the 13 Valleys Ultra this weekend. Rob Harris was your Tea and Trails competition winner and I was his +1. Great to meet and chat with you, Gary, at check-in and just before the race. Sadly, it ended in a couple of DNFs for us. Rob bashed his knee in the rain and fog on Saturday evening, which cut his journey short, but he's already signed up for next year's race. I love it. For me, it was a case of my why not being clear enough, so I pulled out in the Langdales, having had a cracking and enjoyable 50 miles. Yeah, that is still a pretty tough 50 miles, but another 60 miles was out of reach on this occasion. Paul Telford, who was the third amigo for the weekend, had nerves of steel, grit and determination and made it to the end, completing his first 100-mile event. Kudos. Thanks for being so approachable, and as always, love the podcast. Breathe and believe. Well, cheers, Martin Webb. It was great to see you, and sorry to hear there's a couple of DNFs. I hope you're not too bashed up, Rob. And kudos to Paul. I think Martin sold Rob a bit short. The 13 Valleys is actually 115 miles. Please keep those intros coming. Email them to hello@teaandtrails.com. Kudos. High five and big hugs, lots of big hugs on Friday, whether they wanted them or not. Eddie was coming in hot.
Hands on the ball.
And everyone who has joined Patreon over the past week for the price of a cuppa, you can help keep the lights hot and the mics on and save big time on all your trail running essentials. Loads of brands offering great discounts over on Patreon. And don't forget, if you would like a snood or a bobble hat, then you need to add your address to Patreon. No address and no goodies. Also, join Patreon for a year. You save 10% on your membership. And if you join the Legend tier or above, we will send you a bobble hat too. Also, yes, you can gift Patreons. So if you have a Tea and Trails fan in your life, and spread the love and gift them the gift
Christmas
that money
present ever
cannot buy.
I'd be like, is this a joke? When you're going out for your run and you choose your podcast to listen to, I start playing my podcast as I'm saddling up with the dogs, because first few minutes is always like, you know, we read the stuff that we read every week. That's just going on in the background. And as you're reading that, I'm always imagining the thousands of people. Do they do that? Do you know, like, I don't really need to listen to this bit.
Skip 30 seconds.
Well, some of them I do, but some of them they read the same stuff. They just re-record and then you get the same advert. And sometimes you get it like, no, we said we wouldn't do that because
I know.
we had a personal touch. Yeah, I wonder what everyone's doing now. Are they do the same? Are they just tacking up their boonies? Their dogs going out? Are you just getting in the car? You're just getting out of the car. You're doing your laces up. Finding your gloves, Gary. It's that time of year where I cannot find my running gloves. Where are they? Where are my running gloves? I think I'm going to invest in a load of cheap, terrible, bad for the environment gloves that I'm just going to have in every orifice so that I will always have a pair of gloves, because I have quite expensive gloves because, you know, you're like, you've got to be safe, got to keep your hands moving. But where are they? I'm like, do you know where I know where they are? They're in football bags, because we're all the same size now. And people go, those are nice ones. And I can use my phone through those ones. So I'm going to take those.
If you buy, this is what's happened with my socks though. I bought loads of those, the Summits socks.
Oh.
They're all black.
Oh.
Luckily, they've got left and right sewed into the toes. But what happens is all the left seem to gravitate with the left sock and the right gravitates with the left sock. So when I'm scrambling around in the dark in the morning.
The kids all have black socks for school, all different size socks. But do you know what? They get what they're given. And sometimes I hear the 7 o'clock, like, oh man, it's changed, right? You got that side. And I'm like, sorry, there's limits. I am not, you just get what you're given. And one of you might be up to your knee and one of you won't be over your foot. You've read your threatening bit. Oh, poor people emailing going, I can't find where to put my dress. Don't get cross with me, Gary. Just tell me. I'm so sorry. It's quite threatening, that bit. Thanks to X Miles, Simple Hydration, Harrier Trail Running, Phoenix Light UK and Protein Rebel for sponsoring this week's show. I still have Protein Rebel protein powder in my teeth. X Miles, let's talk about them. Family-owned, independent endurance sports retailer providing nutritional goods, apparel and accessories to help athletes perform and recover at their best. X Miles offers a wide range of high-quality products from all the brands you need, and their team of nutrition experts will help you all. Cyclists, runners, walkers, anything you need, they can help you reach your goals. Whether you're a seasoned athlete, just getting started, X Miles is the perfect place to find all your food goodies. Listeners can get 10% store credit at www.xmiles.co.uk or via the link in the show notes. And we got a new listener perk. You're ready to send me mine?
Maybe I won't.
All right. I came back rather quick. You spent too much time with me this week. We've got Versus Socks. You can use code, here we go, VS, T and Trails, all caps lock, all one word, to receive 15% off your order over at versussocks.co.uk. And we've got a couple of pairs to try. They looked really good. Channeling our sort of, what did you call it? Sort of hipster American trail runner.
I think bougie.
Bougie. Oh, he's looking for them.
These are yours. Oh, incredible.
Oh, no, he's rubbing them on himself. Don't soil them. They are soft. Don't put them down your pants. Anyway, we're looking forward to trying them out. You might be in the market for some new socks as well. Go and check them out. Your Go projects continue to provide our listeners with the Tea and Trails cap. Oh my God, it's the best cap in the business. Pop over to Goku projects if you like one. And don't forget, patrons receive a massive 20% off. All the discount codes are either on Patreon, pinned under post, or teaandtrails.com, or check out the show notes. What a few days, Gaza. What a few days for you. You just pop over, run a run, come back.
Smash 100k. Should I go first? And just kind of rattle
go
through
on, because I can drink my tea.
Let me just make things bigger.
Are we doing the podcast?
Straight in the gutter. I love it.
Can you tell I'm by myself? I'm very excited. Yeah, I haven't talked to anyone else apart from grumpy teenagers for a few days now. Yeah, we'll talk pre-race. And you're quite a dull pre-race person because you always do the same stuff. Did you do marathon race?
Well,
Shut up! This is mind-blowing.
I stuck to the Alban app, so I religiously stick to whatever plan I'm going to do.
That is the biggest lie I've ever heard. You read on the thing and then you go, I didn't really like that, so I changed it.
No, not taper week.
No, not me. No.
Anyway, so I did stick to the Alban app plan. I think I told about 25 miles. It did have me running on the Friday, but because of all the travel and standing on my feet for hours at check-in, I thought best of it. That included a steady 10 miler. Oh, no, it wasn't steady, sorry. It was a lunch run 10 miles at zone 2, average pace of 7:44s. I got 10 miles in an hour.
You got 10 miles in an hour?
Lunch run, heart rate zone 2, 10 miles.
No, hour 1 hour 17. That's quite a big difference.
True. That's okay.
I was like, you did 10 miles in an hour. I was going to go, my PB was 102 when I was fast.
My Garmin was very gracious.
Oh, yeah, your Garmin. It's 7 miles, 7, 5, mile 6, 441. No wonder it said you were productive.
I looked down at my watch and I'm like, well, I'll ignore all that data. But yeah, so I did about 1 hour and 15 minutes and I roughly got 10 miles on my Monday run and then the 3 times 5 minutes on the trails. Yeah, I was feeling up and about. Garmin, productive. Now a bit of sandbagging. Heart rate variability tanked. But I felt okay. I'd say tanked. It wasn't in the red, it was in the orange. I felt okay, but I did tell everybody that I met, even if they showed zero interest in what my heart rate variability was or not. I had poor sleep all week too. This is like major sandbagging. I think because another busy week, it's always a busy week with the podcast, but I was grafting because I knew I'd lost Friday, Saturday, Sunday as far as getting Monday's episode
let's face it. There's Monday as well. Let's face it.
Not much happened on Monday. So I had to get everything done, everything uploaded, all the bits and bobs, all the dots.
Gary. Oh, you had to do a proper job.
So it meant I was getting up super early and going to bed a little bit later, which is not race week ideal prep. Then you do like everybody else, you do your bag pack, you repack. I looked at the 13 Valleys Facebook group and I could see people melting down as race day approached. And I was feeling a little bit judgy, but then I realised that this is somebody's first rodeo on trails. So yeah, show them a bit of grace. I did learn as I was scrambling through the kit check, and they always have, it's quite common with Legal 113 Valleys too. I think you've got to have 500 emergency calories, which you're not supposed to eat. I used to take some chia charge bars or other bits of kind of sports fuel. Nuts are incredible.
Macadamia nut actually are
okay.
the highest
Specific.
calorie. So I have I just keep them. I think it's 70 grams of macadamia nuts is 500. I weighed it out before. If you've got to keep them, if you eat them, then you DNF.
Well, I figured if you're in trouble and you need to eat these calories, the last thing you want is a horrible gel, and you're not going to move them fast. You're probably going to be just hobbling off a fell side or something. So these, like, say, sugar cashews, the honey sugar cashews.
Well, I'm not sure I'd leave them though, Gary, because you know me and the nuts. I can't keep my hands off them.
I've got some dates, not running dates. Lisa shared with me. It was quite a sad fact. So I've gone sad, and then I've gone high. So sad times and fun times. Do you want to know some Robin dates?
Why are we talking about Robin suddenly?
It's not all about running, is it, this podcast? Well, Lisa shared it with me. I don't know
what you're going to say, but we have a little Robin that lives outside our house.
Well, yeah.
Oh, no.
We'll give him a second look in a minute. Well, Lisa shared this fact with me.
No. Robin
Lisa
is a
shared
big
this
part
fact
of our
with me.
podcast.
Well,
so
I know this is what I'm kind of
but
thinking. Yeah. Well,
what are you going to do? Don't break my heart.
The beautiful, humble little Robin Redbreast keeps the territory going even outside the breeding season. So, yes, they will often stay in and around the garden all year long. However, it usually won't be the same individual bird or birds because the lifespan of a robin is so short, average 13 months.
My little angel. No. To be honest, I haven't seen him for a few days.
That blew my mind when Lisa told me that.
We were just talking about it the other day. Me and the kids were like, how long do birds live? And I was like, I don't know. Because we have a big eagle that lives on our gatepost. Is it the same one?
Everybody I've mentioned
Probably
that robin
a
fact.
Does everybody have a little robin that pecks around because they are such territorial birds? I really try and make a point when I have my cup of tea in the morning before the day kicks off of just watching outside in the garden. I have the little mouse that runs across the path and his mate, and then I have the robin. And I just sit there trying to wait until I see the robin.
I think it always fills everyone with joy when you see a robin.
I thought you were going to tell me something like it did stuff to other birds and stuff, and like
nothing nasty like that.
Okay, but, so we're still okay, but we need to appreciate them because they're not around. Okay,
I've got to end my section on a high though. The return of the checkered skipper butterfly in England. After more than 40 years of absence, the checkered skipper butterfly has made a triumphant return to England thanks to a bold conservation effort led by Butterfly Conservation and Forestry England. What happened? It extinct in England since 1976. The checkered skipper was reintroduced to Rockingham Forest in Northamptonshire in 2018, and conservationists carefully translocated butterflies from Belgium, nurtured their habitat and monitored their progress. In 2025, surveys confirmed that the population is not only surviving but thriving. The butterflies are now spreading beyond their release sites.
I'm just having a look at them to see what they look like, and they're sort of
it's
brown
quite
and yellow.
Understated. Yeah, it's not like a red admiral flexing with its red and everything like that.
No, but if you run on the West Highland Way, they're found within a 30-mile radius of Fort William.
So all the way from Northamptonshire to Scotland. Incredible.
It. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for giving us some. I like the educational part of this podcast as well. We've got something, if your kids are listening in the car, they're going to go to school knowing a little bit more.
The rest is nature. Gary Lineker's listening.
I've had a better week, Gary. I mean, I had a sad week because I was meant to be doing a race, which I couldn't do. I did think about it. Bryn has got a new rule for me. It's called 1 in, 1 out, because I go and do something and I'm like, it's amazing, Bryn. I managed to do this. Look how much faster I am. I've got breathing. And then about 2 hours later, I'm like, I'm dead. And he's like, you've made a red blood cell and now you've used a red blood cell. So I think I'm at the dangerous level of feeling much better. Definitely the head rushes are maybe 2 a day, 3 a day. Whereas before they were every single time I stood up, moved around, I'd have to hold the table or the car door and just take a moment. So I'm definitely feeling much better. I've sent a few people my Strava stats and nobody is interested, Gary. Everyone's just like, yeah, that's good. Yeah. I'm like, guys, come on.
Not sent me them.
I sent you a screenshot and said, look, I'm 15 minutes faster in 10 days on this loop. And you were like, I think you just gave a thumbs up Right. Okay. You want to find it? So let's scroll back. We'll have to scroll back quite a lot because here we go. Thursday. Reckon the iron is kicking in. I sent you a screenshot of my 10-mile run.
Hang on a minute.
Of which was 15 minutes quicker.
I've got
10 days
picture
before.
Of your dog.
And you put, keep scrolling back up past that picture.
Oh, I see it now. Sorry.
And I got, what did I get?
I got
Heart
love
emoji.
that.
That's it.
What else? That's
that,
a
to
lot.
me, no, that's not. No. An emoji means I'm busy, fine. Eddie, nothing. And then I asked you how you were feeling. Then the next question,
this is like the day before race. This is the day before race.
Yeah, fine. Too busy to focus on the race. Probably a good thing. That's it. No, nothing. And that sums it up, listener.
Don't send phishing texts.
Phishing texts? So yeah, I'm feeling there's definitely some iron going in. There's some body's desperately trying to make red blood cells. I'm finding zone 2. He's nervously laughing it off. Let's move on. I'm finding zone 2 work a lot easier. I was imagining when I was running today, I was like, how can I describe this to our dear listeners so that if they want to try what I've been running like? And I think the only way to describe it is if you put both your hands. This is excellent podcasting. Both your hands over your mouth and then now run tempo. And that's what you just can't get the air in. So I definitely feel like my easy pace is like transformed. I feel like a different person, but I still haven't, when I go ask a question, I'm like, I can feel my lungs.
Yeah.
Like I haven't quite got it. So I reckon I was dead and now I'm like sitting up in the coffin. There is definitely, I'm feeling a little bit better.
Well, yeah, it must feel so positive, Eddie, to maybe not turn the corner, but go in the right direction.
Exactly. There's definitely, I think it's taken a while for the iron to go in, for it to kick in. And there was a few weeks where I was like, I'm really worried this is never going to happen for me. But I had so many messages of reassurance from people going, the difference is incredible. You'll feel like you're on drugs. And it does feel like I'm suddenly like, especially because I think even since we've lived here, it's been like that. And so suddenly I'm like, wow, don't think I realized how bad I felt because I've just been in that pit for so long. I did a Zwift ride yesterday on one of the classic loops that I like, that I've done loads and loads of times. I did it as a workout, so it's a bit different. And then it was like, this is your second fastest time on this loop. And I looked back to when I did it before and it was 2022. And I'd put there on a comment, absolutely like blowing, this was so hard, but I held on. And I was like, because yesterday wasn't hard and I was pretty much the same to like, how long have I been in this? I don't know if anyone can answer this. I am going to see a specialist soon to go in order for these stats to go so low. How long has this been going on for? So my one thing for everybody is like, everybody just get your bloods tested. As we approach the end of the season, my season that never happened, go and get your bloods tested. You've got nothing to lose, just to check where you are so you've got a base level as well, because I could have not done that. Oh my God. I mean, I could have got myself into even more of a pickle anyway.
Is this something then going forward, you're always maybe every couple of years, you're going to have a blood test just to see?
Every few months from now, until I'm going to keep on top of it. I'm never, ever, ever, I never want to feel like that again. And I am going to be on it. And if it means I have to go and do it myself, I will. But I am never, ever going to feel like that again. I tell you what else it's given me. It's given me the joy back in running because I'm not struggling to breathe or feeling tired. So my mind has started to wander again. I'm out running, running, and my mind can wander and I can go to other things. But I think for a long time, because I wasn't having any oxygen, the brain wasn't able to do that. So while I was running, I was thinking, when I first got this diagnosis, I didn't know what to do. And there were no answers out there. There's lots of studies on anemia on athletes and saying, it's prevalent in females and females of a certain age. But then there's nothing to say, and there's a protocol for taking the iron, but there's nothing to say as an athlete then what to do. But I am proud that I made my own plan. I listened to the body and I worked out like hormonally what was happening and also like the breaking down of the red blood cells and getting the balance between being able to keep moving, which is so important to us as athletes, but then also having the right rest and the energy, etc. And I worked out like different ways to do that, different ways to do my strength training, different ways to cross train. And I'm proud I did that. I mean, I may have moaned a little bit, just a little bit, but also now going forward, I have that in my armory to help other people. I might write something and put it out there to go, obviously everybody's different, but I don't think you could get much lower than what my numbers were. So if it's okay for me, also what I did to my diet, I've totally rehauled my diet, and that has taken a lot of work and a lot of kindness from Bryn as well. And that's made a massive difference as well. So I've learned so much. So it's not what I wanted, but it was what I got. I feel I'm in a much better position to help other people, which is my job. That is what I do, is help other people to run faster, better, stronger, to achieve their dreams. There's a high percentage, especially of women that are anemic. And there's nothing out there. So I have my own another little tool in my toolbox, as we talk about. I can't get a blood test, Gary. I rang up because it's been 4 weeks now since it's been on the line. And I've got to go back to the doctor. And they said, yeah, we can fit you in at the end of October. And I was like, I should have rung earlier. Why didn't I? And I was like, okay, well, this is quite serious. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it is what it is. We've got over that. I will carry on, but I already feel like a million times better. I was able to do last week about a long walk. We didn't run, we just walked, but I was able to do like 3.5 hours. I was able to do a hill. That was little bit painful, but I did about 5 hours on my bike. I'm just loving my bike, Gary. I think as well because I can breathe. That sadness of like before, I did think I just can't push the watts like I used to, but I know how quickly, if you've ever done a sport, like maybe a rower or a swimmer, that muscle memory is there. And so I've been back on my bike for 2-3 weeks now. The improvement, it's not just fitness. I do think that a lot of it is the muscles have gone, I remember what to do. The iron has kicked in. And so that has really helped. I think we could talk about this on another podcast about the benefit of cross training. I know you're not a big fan, but I do think you can do a lot more load cross training. I can work out every day on my bike, so I can get my fix of like 20-30 seconds of power or whatever I'm feeling, but it just doesn't have the same. I can get off my bike, my bum, and then I can be fine. Whereas if I try to do a workout every day running, at the moment, I'm not going anywhere near that because I feel that would take me back a level. And also I have no self-control. So I'd be so excited. I know I did do a little bit today. So Lindy and I, we went out without Tarky. She doesn't know. We put her in the background. And there's like half a mile where it's quite a busy bit of road, but it's quite quiet, but people aren't expecting, there are like Amazon delivery vans and stuff, and they're not expecting women with large bottom and a German short head pointer to be running on the road. Whereas around my house, I think they're used to seeing me now. And so it's about half a mile. And I was like, Lindy, we're going to do this as fast as we can. We were dropping some 6-minute mile pace there, Gary. I was feeling great, but then I turned off and we slowed down. I was like, one in, one out, one in, one out. Don't do it. Don't do it. I was sad because you guys were all racing. You're racing again. Then I have to talk to you about it. And I'm like, and you obviously show me no compassion at all. I get a love heart emoji. Bryn's not interested. Nobody's interested. And I'm sure like we laugh, but if you're injured or ill and you can't do stuff, we always say if people's races go wrong or you DNF or you can't, whatever, we always go, remember, nobody cares. And also nobody cares if you're injured or ill or can't go, they don't. And so it is quite a lonely place to be as well, because you're like, hi guys, how's it going? And you're like, yeah, I'm busy getting ready for my race. I'm doing my race. Yeah. And you're like, I'm at home running 5 miles. And if you are the parent and you've got kids at home as well, and you don't get to go and do like big adventures and I just end up parenting all the time. So I don't get the break unless I train or go for a run. I don't ever go, I'm going to go into town and go to we just don't get that as parents. No. Nobody does. If you are injured or ill, I'm sending you that bit of love and saying you're not alone and feeling. And if you do reach out to, if your friend reaches out to you saying something, just reply with a little bit more than emoji, you know, a voice
more than an emoji. Noted. Anyway. I think though, Eddie, so I think it's wonderful that you haven't just resigned to the fact that was your destiny. You know, you've solved, and then because we've got this platform, you can help other people's journey too. Yeah, so kudos.
Oh, Oh, there we go.
I thought I'd save it for a face-to-face chat, not a text.
I've got to get one of the kids to film me. So my weighted hike going uphill on the treadmill. So I'm trying to save that every time your foot, we've talked about this before, every time your foot hits the ground, you're crushing your red blood cells, and we're in the 1 in, 1 out rules. I don't know if this is right, but I reckon that hiking would be less impact than running. It's a less impact sport. We all know that. So maybe I'm crushing less red blood cells by hiking. So I put my treadmill up. It only goes max 12%. By the way, Wahoo, if you're listening, by any chance, I really want your new treadmill, but I don't have the financial means. But my treadmill now, it goes like this. A bit like my knees when I get up in the morning. And Bryn came in and he was like, what the hell is that? And I was like, yes, he's heard it. Now he's going to know when I say I need a new treadmill, he might be less. Anyway.
Someone from Wahoo is going to be listening to this.
Definitely. And it's only like 5-6 grand. Everyone would be fine with me spending that. Can you imagine, Gary? So I put my weighted vest on, Gary. I have my poles in my hands. Rory fashioned me the end of my pole to cover up the sharp bit with some, he made me some little blunt instruments. Then I put weights around my wrists, like 1980s wrist weights. And then I hike uphill, watching my heart rate, like a sort of really ugly Nordic skier. It's so hard, Gary. And we talked about a week ago, we were like, it's really hard. We hate hiking uphill on a treadmill. Feels like quite a lot of pressure on the lower back.
I don't like it, yeah.
I'm definitely getting better. I'm able to push. And now I'm doing like little bits of like push for 2 minutes, relax for 1 minute. And the whole time, all I'm thinking is going up Black Sail Pass and you just falling off the back, just going, can't keep up. Eddie's so
So you've got this advantage of me. I can't dress like that down the gym. I can't have weights on my wrist on a pole. I just can't do that.
I've got to make a video of it. It's hilarious. And I'm thinking, I'm not just thinking of you, I'm not thinking of any women, all I'm thinking of is men. On those Northern Traverse ups, so there's 4 big ups on that Lakes Traverse bit that we do at the start. And I think they're all about 1,500, 1,900 feet of climbing, basically. As I'm getting stronger on this as well, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing like, right, here we go, up those passes. And I try and get the gap of 10-minute mile pace. Oh, it's so hard, Gary. It feels so hard, but I love it. And it's a different dimension. It's different training. And as we've trained, we've been running, you and I, for hundreds of years now. So doing something different like that. And a lot of our racing is hiking, but we don't spend that much time working on it because we like running.
Well, this is the thing I completely overlook, and Northern Traverse is going to completely expose
I'll never forget, like Leon, we did a lot of that first Lakes day, and he went me saying, I would crush him on any running bit. And then the minute we would get to hiking, I cannot keep up with that. And so he's another one I'm chasing up on the treadmill of like being able to hike at that pace. Again, a silver lining of like, right, not what I can't do, but what can I do? It ended up like the volume time that I spent training is quite a lot. The actual numbers, we're not looking at those. We're not worrying about those. We're all about the feels, and the feels are going up. And so that is a good place. I think if you even look back on YouTube a month ago, even though we laugh because I always say there's a filter on Zoom and I did look dead. Every time Bryn sees me now, he's like, oh my God, you look alive. You're back. Moral of the story, let's get your blood tested. Kiddos, look at your diet and don't be scared to change. And sometimes you've got to go in the gutter to reach for the stars.
I edited that out, I think. It's not going to stay in. But it's so sad, isn't it, that it's such a slow decline. It's not like you've tripped over and broke a leg. It's obvious. There's the trauma. The blood's, it's gone on for years. It's become the normal until it's just too much to cope with.
And I think as well, I think I had a massive blood loss with having the kids, especially with Rory. I had to have blood transfusion. And I think if you are in that stage of your life where you've had babies, having babies as well, and then you're going back to running, they gave me some iron as I left the hospital. I don't think I took it, Gary, because I felt so bad anyway. I was like, I just don't remember. If I did take it, it wasn't for very long. And then I never got my bloods checked again. My iron must have been in the gutter again then. Did I ever get it back 13 years ago? This little platform that we have, if you've just had a baby, get your irons tested, get your bloods tested before you start back running, and then keep an eye on them over the next few years as well. And don't think you're wasting a GP's time, because I never did mine, because I always feel like I shouldn't go to the doctor unless actually a limb is hanging off. But I don't think that's the case. And I think doctors wouldn't want you to get in this situation either.
Oh, goodness me, no way.
So there we go. My God, what will next week be? I'll be like, Gary, I've been signed up to the 4x400 metre relay.
Sub 6 minute mile.
Imagine my strides. I think I might introduce a couple of strides next week. Let's just, Eddie, calm down. Step away.
One in, one out.
One in, one out.
Thanks, Precision Fuel and Hydration, for supporting Brew the Coaches. Their website and newsletters are such a good source of knowledge, articles to read, and YouTube content to binge on. On YouTube, you can learn how to fuel an ultramarathon, what pro runners carry on race day, and how to nail your marathon prep. Precision Fuel and Hydration helps athletes personalise their hydration and fueling strategies so they can perform at their best. They will help you know your numbers too. They have a handy, free online sweat test and nutrition planner. Head over to www.precisionhydration.com and don't forget, patrons get 20% off. But if you would like to try Precision Fuel and Hydration for the first time, then you are in luck. Use the code TEATIME2025 for 15% off your first purchase.
I'm having to stay really on top of my electrolytes at the moment because I'm doing quite a lot of this indoor training. And though it's not hot, you can work up a sweat in that garage. So I'm just popping one of those 1000s in a big bottle. It makes me feel like an athlete, Gary, even though I'm not. And I have had the odd calf twinge because I think as well I'm using my muscles differently. I'm using them a lot harder than I normally do. As the winter season approaches, we sweat less, so you need less electrolyte when you're running. But I think if you're training indoors, you have to keep on top of it. And if you're doing multiple sessions indoors like me every single day at the moment, it's important to stay on top of the electrolytes when you're training and afterwards as well, because often I'm doing them just before I have to go and get the kids, and then I forget, as we all do.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God, I haven't drunk for like 4 hours. So keep those blinky plunky tablets.
I had a few whispers at the weekend, and I did carry the caps.
Forget about those ones, yeah.
Probably prompted more by people around me who were stretching out their hamstrings and stuff like that. So I thought, oh yeah, now's the time. Maybe
Throw
I
them
should
some
take
caps,
too.
or did you just push them?
Keep them all for myself.
I never forget, I was doing a trail race in France and this guy was like hobbled over. It was quite near the end, but it was a long, like, you know, they love a long, like 1,000-meter descent. The guy was like, come. So I gave him the last of my salt tablets and he was like, he was in a bad way. And then he took them and then he like absolutely blitzed past me about 5 minutes later. I was like, you don't have the courtesy of finishing behind me there.
Yeah, just for the record, if you're on the trails and you are stretching out your hamstrings and you do need a salt tablet, just ask. I will happily share my goodies with you.
Oh, aren't you the kindest? We've got a little treat for you for the next few weeks. We've got some guests, Brew with the Coaches. You might recognise one, two, both.
We're never standing still, Eddie. We're never standing still. Always.
Cutting edge. We have got the lovely Jayson and Kim Cavill. They're on the podcast in a couple of weeks, sharing their journey over the past year. But they also very kindly, I mean, we spent the whole day with them. Poor them. I think they were done by the end. But they answered quite a few of our Brew with the Coaches. So they're going to be in your ears for the next, good 4 or 5 weeks now, sharing their knowledge.
In your ears.
Oh, Jayson won't like that. But he doesn't listen, so that's fine. A different voice, a different opinion, some wise words, different experience. Loved what they brought to our Brew with the Coaches. And so here they are answering your questions.
This week's question comes from Jenny Coupland. My question is about the length of training cycles. Over the last 2 years, I've enjoyed a return to running, starting with the Couch to 5K over winter 23-24. I progressed to my first half marathon last October. I then worked to maintain that fitness over winter 2024-25 and have completed a further 2 half marathons in May and June this year, and have continued training towards my first ever ultra at the Five Valleys in 2 weeks from now, all engineered to coincide with the dawn of age 50. Well, apologies, Jenny, we've got to this question late again. There seems to be a theme with our Brew with the Coaches at the moment. I've been self-trained using inspiration from friends and colleagues, a plan downloaded from Innovate, the Five Valleys plan, and all the advice I can take from your podcast. I have learned to flex my plan to suit me, my age, my work, my life, etc. I'm just starting to control a gluteal tendinopathy that I I've suffered for about the last year, and I have an ever ongoing struggle controlling menopausal joint pain. Plus, I am not 100% sure, but feel like I have a slightly higher heart rate than some do. I have loved every step of the journey and have learned so much about myself, both physically and mentally. And naturally, I'm starting to think about the what now that will inevitably arrive after the 5 valleys. I do not yet know if I can complete it or how I feel afterwards, but what I do know now is how tiring it has been. I have learned that strength and conditioning must become my priority and that my body needs longer than others to recover. So I'm curious about longer training cycles and if the application of a 10 or better still 14-day cycle still matches the benefits of a 7-day cycle. Could I take the guidance of an online plan I have been using and pad them out with time, strength and condition and cross training? My guess is it's not that simple. Nothing ever is. If I could lengthen the cycles and perhaps introduce more cross training to take the pressure off my joints, then it might also take the pressure off my fatigue, my job and my life. Pro opinions, please. From a very happy and satisfied yet tired and sore Jenny. Well, that's super inspiring, Jenny. Couch to 50k. And I saw Jenny at the 5 Valleys Ultra. We didn't meet face to face, but I saw going through kit check. I always recognise an orange tee and trails hoodie. And I'm happy to report, yes, we did get to this question later, but I'm happy to report Jenny did complete the 5 Valleys. So well done. I remember years ago when I used to read marathon training books, the 10-day cycle was quite common. The way I interpreted it was basically to try and get all those workouts into 7 days. For some people, at least, was quite a lot. So they stretched it to 10 days. So I'm fascinated by this question. Also, this may apply to shift workers. My wife will listen to this eventually. She works a shift pattern 4 on, 4 off. So that's an 8-day week for her in effect. And that 4 on, there's not a lot of room for exercise. So I'm fascinated. So if you're listening, Lisa, sorry, I've slipped this into this Brew with the coaches. Any thoughts, Kim?
First of all, I think she's doing everything well, isn't she? She's obviously loving what she's doing, which is awesome. And that's the place to start. Again, there's quite a few things in there going on. Obviously, if you've had some tendinopathy, some niggly stuff going on, you're still quite new to running as well. You said it was a return to running, so I assume you've got some background in it. But to go from couch to 5k to then the 5 Valleys, especially 50k like that as well, this last weekend is awesome. But it's a lot. So I'm not surprised you're a bit tired. So strength training, cross training, all for the good. You need to keep all that in. So definitely don't compromise on that. The answer basically is yes, you can flex the training cycle. The 7-day week is this ancient cultural societal thing that was just put into place, I think, by like the ancient Babylonians. And it's basically linked to the lunar cycle. So it has no bearing on our lives other than this is just what we've kept going because that's how we keep the society together. It's how they get more work out of us, isn't it? Give us less rest. So it has nothing to do with your training at all. The main thing that you need to do in your training is be consistent over months and years. It's not about being consistent over weeks. So if the way that you need to do that is to stretch your cycle, then do it, because the consistency over years is way more important than getting a few good weeks in and then crashing. You can do exactly what you've said. You can take that rough training plan that you've got from Tinternet and just tweak it. The basic things that you need in your training block is going to be some easy volume, and that doesn't all have to be running. If you're cycling, cross training, swimming, you can use that as easy volume. You need your strength. Obviously, it's working for you, and it's a key factor for people. Women over 30, I would say, especially if they're doing long stuff, all need to do strength work. And then some quality sessions, whatever that looks like, so that you can recover from those sessions to then do it again the next time. That's all you need to worry about. And it will take some experimenting. All training planning is kind of experimentation because it's different for everyone. Yeah, try a 10-day cycle where you've only got one key session, one quality session, and maybe one long run, and then see what happens the next 10 days. The difficulty with that is if you are working within a 7-day week period, it's difficult to get those things in on different days sometimes. And the way our society is set up, you've got club runs on certain nights, you've got friends that want to do long runs on Sunday. You want to be involved with that still. So there needs to be a bit of flex sometimes in it. Whatever you decide to try is going to be a good experiment, and it's going to give you something to go on as you keep experimenting with it. Jason had another thought about a different kind of cycle as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can also, it is quite common trying like a weekly cycle as far as you might do 2 or 3 normal training weeks, or slightly harder training weeks, and then a really easy week, a really light week, and work in those sorts of cycles. And that allows you to sort of keep that structure and that routine if it's around what other people are doing, what family are doing, but then still have a sort of lighter week where you're giving your body a chance to recover and mentally you're getting time to recover. So like 2 weeks of normal training with harder sessions, and then a week of just nice light training, less intensity and maybe slightly less volume. That works really well for quite a lot of people as well, keeps them fresh.
Like the reason people have done the 7-day cycle, apart from just it fits into a week, is that it does get results and progress happens sort of quicker for a lot of people, because you're putting, like, your old marathon training plans probably had like 2 or 3 key hard sessions a week, and to put that into 1 week, if you can handle that, will progress you really well. But most people that have full-time jobs and families and are a certain age can't handle that load.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do need to, you can't just go on what other people do, what elite people do. You have to make it work for you. And it might be that progress is a bit slower, but at least it's going to be going up rather than kind of going like really up sharply and then down really sharply, if it wants to be consistent.
Remember, Jenny, you're only as good as what you can recover from, and you don't want to be feeling super tired all the time. Like, training should add. Yes, there'll be times, and just like Jason said, like the flow of the plan, you should have a week, maybe 10 days, a little bit of time out from your race where you are super tired because you'll be doing your longest run perhaps, and maybe your hardest workout as well. But most of the time it should be manageable within, you should be able to walk away from a training session, eat fuel and get on with your day. You shouldn't be trashed. So it might be worth having a look as well at getting that balance right as well, so you're not constantly feeling like really, really tired. I do 10-day cycle normally in my training as well, because I don't often have the time to do a long run. And so I sort of mix or match. Is it perfect? It's perfect for me because I can do it. So don't compare yourself or your training to anybody else as well, Jenny. While you're consuming all this new content and what everyone else is doing, remember, you do you, girlfriend, because that is the way you're going to get results. And there's nobody else on the trail when you're out doing big adventures or big races apart from you. So it doesn't matter what Susan did down the road or what Karen did on Instagram, because they're not going to be you on that trail. It's only going to be you. So if that means that you train a bit differently, if you need more rest, if you need to do a long run every 10 days, or you only do one workout every 10 days, or that is all good. You don't do any workouts because you find it hard to juggle and you're just enjoying your running, and you're still going to get so much progress from just running. You do you, what you can recover from, and just make sure that you keep enjoying it, because that is the most important thing. Mm-hmm. Don't listen to Gary's workout.
Oh, well done again. Yeah, and belated or happy birthday, depends on when this episode goes out.
Next year, 2027.
Thanks, Harrier Trail Running, for sponsoring our Strava Club and Tales from the Trail section. Harrier is the UK's fastest growing brand for trail runners, providing specialist kit designed for superior fit, comfort and function with the best customer support. Check them out for race vests, waterproofs, poles and other trail essentials at www.harrierrunfree.co.uk, where you can also download your free copy of How to Run an Ultra Guide. Use the code T10 for 10% off site-wide, or check out their brilliant trail bundles for a special 20% off. I've noticed on their socials you can now pre-order the Thorpe Ultra Fine Merino base layer just in time for winter. It is built for trail runners who demand comfort, performance and versatility in all conditions. This lightweight layer delivers exceptional softness, breathability and durability. Yet pre-orders are available now just in time for those winter nights. Head over to www.harrierrunfree.co.uk. First up in the Strava Club, and it is the 13 Valleys and 7 Valleys bias Strava Club. This week, Amy Victoria, 119.1 miles for the week with the longest run of 117.8 and 23,819 feet. 13 Valleys for Amy, running through 2 nights. Oh, kudos. That is where the magic happens.
No, that's not magic, 2 nights. That is horrendous.
James Noble's is next up with an 86.7 mile week with the longest run of 68.3 miles and 15,466 feet of vert. Second place for James in the Seven Valleys. Incredible running, James. Totally missed him though. While I was mingling in the mid-pack, James was strutting around like a peacock, I think, down the front. But there was a beautiful picture of him and his daughter as he finished the raid. Yeah, great work, James. Smoking fast times. Last up is Zoe Gulliver, 71.8 miles for the week. Longest run of 20.9 miles and 7,071 feet of vert. 20 miles, heavy flex. We've got evening flow. I don't know what that is on Strava. I saw she'd been doing that. We've got Pilates.
It must be yoga. Yeah, she looks like she's into her yoga.
Fit Stuff 7K with Alex. Yeah, look, there's loads of people there out on the trails still clinging on to some sunshine. Good job, Zoe. Loads of results this week. Busy week for friends of the podcast. 13 Valleys, record-breaking performances too. Yeah, Barney Plummer took the win for the 13 Valleys. Tom Smith took the win for the 7 Valleys. And Samu Ponce took the win for the 5 Valleys. And Nigel Martin took the win for the 2 Valleys. In the ladies' race, the female champ for the 13 Valleys was Bethany Ladd. 7 Valleys champ, and I shared quite a few miles with Leonie and Sems de Veers. Record-breaking. I think basically I paced Leonie to a record-breaking run this year. I'm sure.
And then did she just drop you at the end? Did she just say, had enough of your chat now?
Well, we're in a different race, but I did finish before Leonie.
Oh, I thought you finished after her. I take that all back. You just left her.
Did the heartbreaker on it. 5 Valleys champ, Emmy Dixon. 2 Valleys champ, Jess Haney. And congratulations, to everybody, event staff, volunteers, participants and winners. I think it was just such an inspiring weekend from start to finish. The 2, I think an event like this where you do the 2, the 5, the 7 and 13, it's like it is a gateway drug to trail running. There's so many people there will have done the 2 Valleys, will have come away. I think it was like 100% success rate as far as
the cutoff is massive. I saw that the cutoff was 8 hours. Yeah, that is incredible.
Well, you could technically walk it, and I think people are going to come away from that. They're not going to be bruised. They're going to be uplifted. They'll have had a wonderful day, and they think, maybe I'm going to have a tackle the 5 Valleys next year, and then work the way up the ladder. Wow, that's an incredible story. I'd love that. If it was somebody's first time on the trails, they did the 2 Valleys, then over maybe like a half a dozen year period, they toured the line and completed the 13 Valleys. Punk Panther had a busy weekend too. The 50 miler was won by Thomas Beaumont, and the female winner was Mary Patterson. The 32 miler Reservoir Dogs Ultramarathon was won by James Bairn, and the lady winner was Bethan Parry. 20 mile race champ was Lewis Bonus, and the lady champ was Amelia Websdale, and they also had a half marathon too. He's the winner and the V60 champ, Andy Waits. That is some going. Wow, to be still crushing it. A V60. I think with the Lakeland 100, somebody was sharing me the times for the V40, the V50 and the V60. And there's quite a big drop off as you increase by a decade. But Andy Waits is defying the years there. We've got a joint first female. Emma Lavelle Wood shares the top spot with Marta Cooney-Causter.
We have love the birthday shout outs when they come in. Hi, Eddie and Gary. I'm no doubt too late. I don't think you are. Oh, yes, you are. Sorry. But I'm no doubt too late for next week's podcast. Be grateful if you could fit. Oh, well, we're recording this on your mum's birthday, which is the 1st of October. So we are thinking of your mum. Happy birthday to my mum, Kay. She became a patron after I introduced her to the pod, and we love gossiping about the latest episode. Oh, hang on a sec. This is terrible news. Sadly, her buff mysteriously disappeared when I moved out. Are you also someone that takes my running gloves? Mum was a Team GB orienteer when she was younger until an Achilles injury left her unable to run. It's been so special watching her get back into running in the last few years, especially as I've been on a parallel journey falling in love with the sport for the first time. She's training to do her first Ultra 61, and I couldn't be more proud. Can't wait to crew for you, Mum. Hey, guys. Huge thanks, guys. Podcast really helps me survive death by tarmac in London. All the best, Freya. Freya, firstly, you sound awesome. Your mum, Kay, she sounds double awesome. XT Team GB orienteer, and now going to do her first Ultra at 61. Happy birthday to you, Kay. Big kisses from me, and probably something inappropriate from Gary.
Heavy flex. I want to give a shout out and a heavy flex to my good pal, Will Housden. Not only is he the reason I got into trail running and ultras, but more importantly, he introduced me to the Tea and Trails
Too
podcast.
right.
He is running a marathon or sometimes longer every month in 2025 in memory of his dad and to raise money for Huntington's Disease Association. He was with me for my first trail half marathon, then my first trail marathon, and he's going to be with me in 3 weeks for my first ultra in the Forest of Dean. He is a fantastic advocate for running and a pivotal member of the running club Droitwich AC. It's unlikely I would be at the start line without him, and that is probably something I'll throw back at him at 30 kilometres when I've had enough. But I'm super grateful and wanted him to know. Thank you both for all the helpful advice. I've learned so much from listening to you too, and you get me through the solo miles like a couple of running mates. Leslie. Oh, everybody needs a Will in their life, don't they? He sounds absolutely incredible. He's just there for you when you need him. He introduces you to this crazy sport and he's there side by side. I love it. If you have a mate who has flexed or orbited the sun one more time, email hello@tntrails.com. You need to pop heavy flex or birthday shout out in the subject. Tales from the trails.
I have been managing plantar fasciitis for the last 12 months after an increase in weekly elevation for last year's Spartan Ultra. With a series of races booked in the second half of this year, I thought I'd better attempt to do something about it. And as a result, I've done very little running since the Northern Traverse in April. A friend then booked his first ever Ultra and invited me along. This race was the Ultra X 50k in the Peak District and fell over 6 days before my Skyline Scotland race. Well, it's only 32 miles, I thought. I could just run around with Stu, have a nice day out and use it as training. How wrong was I? I was breathing hard from the start and very little in my legs. Stu disappeared into the distance after a few miles, never to be seen again. And I've been reduced to my ultra shuffle long before the second checkpoint. Oh, I should have known better. My last run was 6 weeks ago and not much before this. I'd continued my strength sessions and done a few bike rides, so thought I might have some leg strength. I've now learned that no amount of bravado or cockiness can get you through a race. That's only 32 miles with no training. I considered DNFing at several points, but didn't want to be that person who DNFs when they're just having a bad day. I could hear Gary talking about stacking bricks and thought, well, if I can get this wall finished today, I might be able to smash it back down again next week in Scotland. I did finish around half an hour after a very happy Stu, so a big heavy flex for him. Oh, the next 6 days were grim. Quads were shot, hamstrings in bits, lower back was painful, shins hurt, and my plantar was sore. Saturday morning, my quads were still tender, and I had no expectations for the Ben Nevis Skyline. I love that he's stepping up to a really hard technical race with a broken body. I struggled a bit initially up through the woods with my compromised aerobic fitness, but once the climbing really got started, I powered up, passing many people along the way. The ridge was great fun. I was still going strong down the boggy valley on the other side. I hammered the entire descent down the bike track and could barely breathe as I crossed the finish line and received my medal. As I was stumbling around in a daze, a happy-looking lady in a woolly hat came up to me, arms wide for a hug. Oh, sounds inappropriate. I think I know who this is. That looks like Eddie. That is Eddie from the podcast. I couldn't believe it. She then pushed a microphone in my face and hit me with the questions. I can't believe we didn't have more complaints about this. I have no idea what I said, but I feel I may have been a bumbling mess. What a great day. I'm not sure if last weekend was enough to shock my body into some last-minute adaptations, or whether I was just so used to hobbling around on knackered legs, I was numb to the pain. Either way, it worked. And sorry, Eddie, I skipped the cup of tea and got straight to the beer. I now have a 2-week recovery before returning to the Spartan Ultra, where it all began. Lee Caves. He's asking for some advice on curing plantar fasciitis. Is on his feet all day. My breaks from running. No, and that's the thing about plantar fasciitis. Once you get it, anyone who knows, it is an absolute bee to get rid of. You actually do need to keep moving your feet. You do need to stick to the cross training as well. If you want to carry on training, you need to do strength work. You think, Lee, you need to find a good physio who would help you with your rehab and make you stick to the rehab. There's quite a lot out there that can help plantar fasciitis, insoles, changing your footwear, stretching, rolling the feet, working on the calves, strengthening the calves. There's so much that you can do, patience, but I actually think that you have to manage it and do what you can, and cross-training does need to be your friend as well. But I would find a good physio who hopefully might also advise you to find a good podiatrist as well that can help you manage the symptoms. But yeah, it's rubbish, and I had it for a long time, but it does go eventually, but it is a bit crippling. We love your Tales from the Trails. Keep them coming. hello@teaandtrails.com. Pop the Tales from the Trails as the subject, please, you dear, dear friends.
Good luck, Lee. Fingers crossed, buddy. Thank you, Protein Rebel, for bringing us home. Gentle on your stomach, driving your performance, whether you're trying to get a PB or training for your first marathon, breaking world records, dressed as a rhino, or completing your 10th Ultra. Protein Rebel's products are easy to digest with no artificial additives, providing both performance and overall health benefits. Use the code T15 for 15% off your first order at www.proteinrebel.com, and Patreons can enjoy 15% off every order. You're going to need to pop over to Patreon for that discount.
I've been smashing the protein. Do you use their protein powder, Gary?
Yes, I do.
How much do you put in? Because it says 3 tablespoons. What do you class as a tablespoon?
Oh, I've got a little proper tablespoon. When you're a baker like myself, you've always got those tools in the cupboard.
Do you remember last week I talked about making flapjacks? Do you know what? I never made the flapjacks, Gary, but I did eat all the ingredients. So I measured out, like I put out all the seeds and the dried fruit and the nuts, and then I never got around to actually making the flapjacks, but I did eat the most snacks, but I just ate the most not made into flapjack snacks. Is that the same?
Does just kind of grabbing from the
just
balls?
grab the massive handful and stuff them in my face. So show me, like, is it like I think a tablespoon is like what we use like when we have a bowl of peas on the table or something, and
I'd say if you sliced a golf ball in half, that's probably a tablespoon.
Okay, well, I might be using a bit too much protein per serving, because I would say it's more like a sort of half a tennis ball I use.
Wow.
And I use 3 of those that big. Hey, I thought these guns were
boom, boom.
more power. What does Roy say? More passion, more power, more footwork. What does Roy say to me every day? He says, "Do better, Mum. Do better." And I'm like, I'm trying. What can I do better? There's no answer. He's
been watching that YouTube, hasn't he? Oh,
Is this way? Do better.
You need to do better. You need
to do better. I just drop them, get them to school, and he's like, just leaves me slamming the door. He's like, "Do better, Mum," and leaves me. And I'm like, right, what can I do better? I do need to do better. Okay, so maybe I need to cut down on the protein a little bit.
Well, I'm doubling down on my collagen and magnesium at the moment. I forgot to take it.
And your protein.
Well, I'm a bit loosey because I've got nothing coming up.
No, you are trying to recover. What is your building block, Gary? It's not collagen, it's not magnesium, it is your protein.
Do you get a bit stressed though if you go away for a weekend or a race and you forget to take some of your well-loved supplements? I forgot all my 7 values. I forgot my magnesium, didn't take any protein, and I didn't take
sleepy tea?
No sleepy tea.
That's why I didn't sleep.
Sad
So my first box of sleepy tea was a very expensive brand, who I shall not give the shout out. So now I've gone to the local supermarket. I'm going to just see if it gives me the same valerium hit.
We got some Clipper, so that's like
that's the one I was using.
It's the good stuff. It is.
It's good stuff, isn't it? Oh, I've gone cheapo. Is it not going to be the same? I just love it. I take it there's a little shot of it about 9. By 9:30, I'm anybody's. I am anybody's. I love it. Right, what's going on? What are you doing this week?
Absolutely nothing. Complete rest until the weekend. The Alban app does have me scheduled for a long run on Saturday. I'm not too sure if I will do that.
Are you not going to have some off season now?
Garmin had me down for a threshold run this morning and some full body circuit, so I'm totally telling that to F off. Just lots of Rexy time, lots of walks with the dog, mobility, drinking all the beer.
You're such a liar. You won't do any of that.
I have done foam rolling every day since.
You shouldn't be foam rolling now. That breaks down your muscles. You should.
And I do I need to do my back. I'm not doing yoga.
Okay.
Goodness me. I need to do my back, and I do all of the flossing of my joints too. I've got a little routine my physio gave me. What else am I doing? I've got some beer which I need to consume. I'm pretty sure I'll get through all of my leftover Freddos that I ran 60 odd miles with, and I did eat quite a few. Oh, I had loads of Freddos. I had loads of Baby Bells too, but I've got a few left. So yeah, a cup of tea and a Freddo. I might do that actually after we finished recording. And then on Saturday, George is spectating at a Mai Tai tournament. I've got a feeling though it's going to be a complete different vibe to last weekend. It's going to be all day. It goes on all day. I'm taking one for the team because I bugger off pretty much every weekend.
Yeah, I think you can take one for the team.
Taking
one for the team. Rinse and repeat, Gary. 1 in, 1 out. Same again. Do not overdo it, Eddie. Do not overdo it. Listening, fueling, trying to continue to grow my red blood cells. Don't get too overexcited. That is my motto for the week. I should write that on the board above the garage. Do not get overexcited, Eddie.
Chase the ball. That's why you're on a right on there.
No, not yet. I'm ready to chase the ball. You're not yet. I'm just going to keep doing the same. And I think it's quite good with an organic build. Actually, yesterday, I chose a workout that was 52 minutes long on the bike. Whereas even 10 days ago, it was 30 minutes was enough. So I'm just letting the robins tell me what I should be doing and how I'm feeling. I'm trying to get a little bit of balance. There's the danger when you're feeling a bit better and also when you're not sticking to a plan is that everything gets in that what I call the triathlon training zone, where everything is just basically high zone 2, low zone 3 work because I feel good. So I just need, maybe I'll let another week go, and then the week after I need to sort of get a little bit of, maybe write a little bit of a plan rather than just taking it day by day as I am at the moment. So I'm a bit nervous about doing a longer run than 10 miles. There's a bit of a barrier there of I've done so much work, I don't want to end up back. So I'm almost to just wait till I've had that blood test.
If I was speaking to somebody else, I would wait until I had the blood test. But myself, I would probably do it.
I've done 10 miles. I'm happy at 10 miles and I can still function then after that. So I'm so what's 15? Then the little voice, what's 15, Eddie? What's 15? And this is what I always say to my clients, they do a 50-mile race on a Saturday or Sunday, and by Thursday they're knocking on my WhatsApps going, I think I'm ready to run. And I knock back and I say, when you feel ready, you wait a little bit longer. That 48 hours where you feel ready. And so I almost need to, when I feel ready, I almost need to give myself another month.
That's one takeaway. I remember when I first got into running, Ali Dixon, local marathoner, legend.
She was such a legend, wasn't she? I loved Ali Dixon.
One of the things she said about when she was coming back from a snivel, not an injury, but when you think you're okay, give it still 2 or 3 days.
And I think now, because this isn't just this is maybe even 10 years in the making, it's going to be 6 to 8 months is what most people have said. So maybe October, I just need to suck it up and
when's Northern Traverse? Are you still in recovery? We've got a weekend, Eddie.
You're going to suck all the red blood cells. Don't worry. I've already been thinking how lovely it would be.
I've got to go past you go. One in, one out, one in.
I think the thing is you're going to start off a lot faster than me, as much as I'd like to think, we'll go through, we'll probably start together and we'll have lovely chats all over the club where you can, because that first day is so much hiking, you can chat, but I think you'll start much faster than me. So you'll be ahead of me. And then by the time, maybe if I do catch you up, we won't be able to talk.
I've been looking at people's times and it's such a puzzle because the average pace, you just think it's super easy, but it is wild that it's not. Wild. That's going to be my biggest learning is this next few months to embrace walking, which I've never really done. And I need to force myself to test what that walking, jogging speed is, because that is the reality for probably everything after Richmond. And I like running. This has always been a puzzle.
I'm not walking after Richmond.
I might be course record. I'm having all this chat. I'll be course record all of this time next year.
Totally. Yeah. Female and male. We're coming together, holding hands, 33 hours. Done. Thanks for tuning in. We love you for listening. Share the pod, share the love. Pop over to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, like and subscribe, or even better. And then all of that stuff, don't bother with that stuff. Click on Patreon and join it. How are our Patreon do we still get new people joining? Gaza, you're in charge.
It's not as buoyant as it used to be. People.
Thanks to X-Miles Sinful and Hydration, Phoenix Light UK, Harry Trowan and Protein Rebel for sponsoring our podcast. Here's discount codes T10 2025 for Shocks, T15 for Protein Rebel, T-Time 2025 for Sinful Hydration, and T10 for Harry Trail Running. Thank you to our partners and those of you that are patrons too. You're the best. You're our favourites. We couldn't do this without you or your ongoing support.
Good luck to everybody out on the trails, racing, training, recce's or solo miles with mates. Let the trail or tarmac rise to meet you. And the wind always be on your back. Be kind to your future self. Don't think, just swallow. I did that quite a few times over the weekend.
Did you get my message, Lizzie? Lizzie was with you at the checkpoint. She was messaging me going, send him a message. And I was driving.
It was great to see Lizzie.
Send him.
Swallow.
So I just send him swallow.
Roll with the joy and the miles will look after themselves. My name is Gary Thwaites.
And I'm Eddie Sutton.
And that was the Tea and Trails podcast.